भारती न्यूज, सीधा, सटीक और निष्पक्ष।
Good morning, dear friends. You're watching Bharati News with Ayushi, and we are here at Day 5 induction program at the BVI Camp campus. You might be thinking, what is surprising today at the induction program at BVI Camp campus? Yes, it is. We have senior journalist holding 9 years of experience who started her career with BBC Scotland, also worked with NewsX, CNBC, and now a professional TEDx speaker. She is none other than Miss Shweta Kothari, a big media fame. Without wasting time, let's have a session with her. Let us get to know her point of view about media. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning to. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure is mine, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me.
It was a nice session given by you. I too have a doubt and I would like you to answer some of my questions. So the first question to you is, how far do you think that this tag that media is the fourth pillar of the democracy, it justifies?
Media is and will remain for the fourth pillar of democracy. It's not for me and other journalists like me to decide on whether we should be doing our job or not. We have to do our job. This is our duty to hold all pillars of democracy accountable, to ask questions of people in power, and so we have to do that. There is no way out of it.
Ma'am, as you know that the authenticity of media is questioned every day. So what is your say on that?
Well, there are journalists perhaps who are not doing their job as they should, and that results in a lot of people questioning the credibility of media. But all in all, I have faith in where we are headed. I know a lot of very prominent people are also increasingly going independent. The idea is to not be influenced by either economic forces or forces that are governing the nature of journalism. So a lot of people therefore are now deciding that we do not want to be be worked around by people in position of power. We want to do things independently. We want to hold powerful people accountable. We want to do stories on the ground. We want to tell people what actually is happening in the country. And the only way to do that is to be independent, is to be away from the influence of, economic strongholds and away from the corporatization of media. And so therefore a lot of people are now becoming increasingly independent. A lot of people are doing things on their own, joining media as people who are hoping to do their duty, and I hope that continues.
So ma'am, my other question to you is, as you know that social media is flourishing and a lot of our audience, they actually depend on social media for news. So that's a big take on credibility of the news also. What's your take on that?
Well, here's the thing. Social media may not give you the best of news. It may not give you news that is true into its very essence. But because of the time, the absence of enough time with people, and obviously the easy accessibility of news, social media is one of the mainstream places where people are getting news from. What does it tell you about credibility of news? Well, it tells you that there is a trend here, that more and more people are consuming news through Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram. So get on these platforms. So it is a signal to established organizations that if you want to reach out to more people, you have to be on social media. At the same time, it's also a signal to legacy organizations that it is now feasible and accessible to young people who do not want a lot of money, who are really willing to do their job, to get on social media and deliver the same news. So wake-up call to legacy organizations and a lot of opportunity to young budding journalists. That is exactly what social media today is providing.
So as per your answer, I can think of that social media has pros and cons too, both of them.
Absolutely. Pros and cons. I think every platform has a pro and a con. One of the biggest pros, as I said, is it's easily accessible. There's not money invested and you can do it from anywhere. Right? I can right now go live and talk about what's happening in BB Cam. At the same time, who decides on whether I'm a credible voice or not? That's the biggest con. So people are increasingly also watching people who neither have that knowledge nor the expertise to be talking about a certain subject, but they're going on talking about it because it's easy to do and it's accessible. So that is the biggest con. The biggest con is that social media has allowed a lot of people with bad intentions and people with absence of expertise and knowledge to also start influencing people around them. And so that, because there is no barrier, as I said, and that is something that viewers, people who watch us, the audience have to be really careful of. You have to be careful of who are you consuming news from. Are you taking news from someone who does not have the experience in delivering news versus someone who is extremely knowledgeable, has the right sort of expertise. So because there is, as I said, no filter, anybody can be on social media. It's audience, therefore, that needs to be more careful on where you're consuming your news from.
Ma'am, as I was following you and reading about you, I got to know that you are an active journalist. Plus, you also go for taking lectures at several institutes and prominently at BVI Cam. How do you manage the deadlines?
It's very difficult. As a woman, it's especially difficult. I'm sure you can relate to that. You have too many responsibilities. I'm still fortunate that I have people around me who support me, my dreams. I think it's all about prioritizing your work. You know, we all have the same 24 hours, and I see people who are doing a lot more. There are women around me who are mothers, who also have a full-time job, who are also teaching, who they're juggling so many hats. So when I see them and I see myself, I think I still can do better. So I think we all learn from people around us who are doing so much in that very limited time that they have. It's all about, as I said, prioritizing and hopefully not wasting it watching and scrolling through social media.
Okay, one last question, ma'am. You have been to BVI Cam, you have been to the studios, and you have met students a long number of time. So, what positive and negative would you like to tell us? Negative in sense that we can improve in near future.
Well, I don't have negatives. I have a lot of positives. I don't have negatives. Obviously, this is the second batch of journalism, so congratulations to the institution on successfully getting the first batch through with university rankings. I know some of your toppers are either second or first in overall rankings, which is a great feat for a university that just started journalism course. So I think the challenge now will be to keep the momentum up. As the number of students increase, you'll have to keep the momentum going. You'll have to keep encouraging students to do better at it. I think the university as a whole is doing wonderful. The institution as a whole is doing wonderful in trying to provide for some 200 plus students that you have right now for journalism, 240, and there'll be, I don't know, maybe 300 plus next year. So I think it's going to be a huge, huge responsibility for you, the teachers, to keep the momentum going. So I wish you all the best, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us time. It was pleasure speaking to you. Thank you. So friends, this was the day 5 induction program at BVI Cam campus, and the surprise was Miss Shweta Kothari, senior journalist with 9 years of experience, and you got to know about the clear vision of the world of media by her. The students are actually enthralled with the all 5 days and the surprising media fames they met. So let's catch up to all other future updates. Stay connected to Bharati News for more updates. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Till then, thank you so much.